from the bowl along the tank track, and this is where we got sort of ambush front, basically. Two guys ran down with FNs and just unloaded 2 magazines down the column, down the file. They killed one guy straight away, a signaller called John Crow, and they injured about 5 or 6 people, including my Section 2 IC, Lenny Carver, guys, one of my section commanders in junior power, Graham Eaton. They all got injured in this ambush. Myself, not when I say myself, I followed Dom Gray and Ben Goff. I went with them to try and catch these guys who'd done it. When we came round, they engaged and they hit Dom in the head, went straight across his helmet, and he sat in the open. And they were just about to engage him again. And this is not my words; this is somebody else's words. Somebody just came out of nowhere and pushed him into cover. Well, that was myself.
Wow.
Yeah. Everyone says, well, if it wasn't for that, they would have shot him. So,
and he survived from his injuries then as well.
He survived from his injuries. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So we did that. Then obviously B Company were told to move back to the bowl. The sun was starting to come up now, if I remember rightly, when we were in the bowl, and that's when B Company were considered not a spent force, but had to have time to reorg. So to carry on with the assault, because there was still about 1.5 kilometres to go, A Company took over.
Right, okay.
Yeah, A Company. I remember, I didn't know him at the time, but a guy called Ned Cameron was a Lance Corporal in A Company, and he was told to come into B Company and get all our ammunition and all our stuff, because A Company were going to take over the assault. And they ditched their webbing. They found out from us to ditch the webbing and just take what you need in your pocket so you can move quicker.
Yeah, makes sense, I suppose.
Absolutely. So yeah, A Company took over, and they took about, it was a good 1.5 kilometres of ground or real estate. Then once the position was sort of confirmed as taken, then we did, again, good old battle procedure. We reorg, received orders for counterattacks if there was one, sorted people were promoted in the field. Yeah, Lance Lance Corporal Goff, I remember being one of them. Lance Corporal Phillips, who was, I'm sure he was promoted. Steve could correct it, because he was 5 platoons radio operator. So he was promoted, I think. And I know Ben Goff was. And I think a couple of other people promoted because we had no NCOs left. 5 platoon had one junior NCO left and a sergeant. They'd all been injured or killed. All of them.
Yeah.
3 Para had faced 800 or so well-dug-in Argentinians backed up by artillery. Enemy defences were crumbling, but there were still pockets of resistance in the rocky terrain. As B Company manoeuvred along a sheep track, they walked into an ambush.
We shake out in single file because the sheep track is narrow. If you imagine a steep rock up to our right and then it falls away to the left. We come out from the rocks, the 2 lads in front are leading. I'm about 4th in line, there's a guy in front of me. And as we come down, literally about 25, 30 feet in front of us, there's a big rock and there's a gap between the rock on its own. Sheep track goes between that and the rock face. And an Argentinian soldier stands up and he actually says, "Hey, hombre." And he just, from the hip, lets fly a full magazine. Bearing in mind, they've got automatic weapons, ours was single shot. The 2 lads in front split, take cover. The lad, unfortunately, in front of me was killed. He took quite a few rounds. I was diving for cover and I got hit. The round went through my side, through my left lung, hit the front ribs and bounced back out again through my back. I ended up rolling down into this open patch, and then the next thing I know, up in the rocks above, there's 2 or 3 Argentinians who then start shooting down into me. Classic ambush zone. I'm in the kill zone. Start return fire back at them, and then all of a sudden the blood comes pouring out my nose, out my mouth. My lungs collapsed. So I just then lay there, put my head in my hands, and think, "Hey, Hope, here we go, like, you know. I had rounds landing between me, I had one go between my elbow and my head. And the next thing then, the two lads that I'd basically tabbed across the island with come out from cover, brought themselves into the kill zone, grabbed me and dragged me into cover.
Saved your life.
Yeah, definitely. If I'd have been there any more time in there... See, when you're lying there and you're in pain, there's blood coming out your nose, coming out your mouth, it seems like it's taken hours. It really did. I just lay there. But they said it was a matter of seconds, that once I'd been hit, because this round hit me, it knocked me back 6-7 foot. And then I rolled down into this open area, and I was probably there 10-15 seconds at the most. I could hear people shouting down to me, you hit, and I was burbling because I couldn't talk because of the blood coming out of my throat, like, yeah, so, but they came down and dragged me in.
And did you expect to die? Because I've been in a similar position where I expected to die and found it actually quite a calming experience in actual fact. I
was calm, yeah. Like I said, I just put my head into my arms. I'd gone like this, and I just lay there and I thought, yeah, see ya.
There's nothing that you can do, is there?
There was nothing I couldn't do. I couldn't move. There was just rounds bouncing all around me. To give someone an idea of it, Saving Private Ryan, if you watch the opening scene, the landing on the beach, don't watch the scene, close your eyes, and just listen to the rounds coming in. That is what it was like. That noise of a round going over your head, landing, hitting the ground in front of you. The next thing is then I come round again, and 9 Squadron Para Engineers and the cooks had come up the hill with stretchers, carrying ammunition, dropped that off, and they were taking the wounded down to the aid post. They come up with 2 stretchers. There was 3 of us, two were legs and myself. The medic prioritised, said, right, Len goes on a stretcher, Graham on a stretcher, Frank will have to stay here. And I said, no. I said to the 9 Squadron, I said, you help me down, I'll walk down. And it was one of the most painful episodes of my life, I will say. But the 2 lads got taken down the stretcher, I'm walking behind, and as we're walking down, artillery fire comes in. And with that, the 9 Squadron lad throws me on the floor, and I was bigger than him, but he still managed to, he wrapped himself around me to protect me. And the round landed about 15 foot from us. Luckily the ground, where it hit, didn't hit the rocks, it hit a soft patch in between the rocks. So all the explosion went up in the air, but it was, the vibration from it, it was just, and I just thought, I've survived getting shot, I'm going to get blown up now. These sods are definitely after me, like, But
you had a lucky escape.
Lucky, yeah. Someone was looking after me.